It's finally 2022. Happy New Year and welcome back to Lights and Buttons. Hopefully you guys had a great holiday, and today we will be talking about upgrading the PS5 storage. Now at first this might seem to be a daunting task, especially for those of you who haven't opened up a PC to either do an upgrade or repair before, but it might not be as bad as you think. Let's go through some research and then see what it takes to upgrade the PS5 internal storage and see if it's really that bad. The PS5 comes with 825 gigabytes of solid-state storage, but that's not a whole lot of space considering that games can take anywhere from a few hundred megabytes to over 100 gigs in a single game alone. On top of that, if you record gameplay videos, you'll need space for that too. I recently ran out of space on my PS5 and had to delete some stuff. I decided to add the NVMe storage rather than going down the USB route because the native PS5 games cannot run off of those external USB devices. Instead, you'll have to move them back to the console storage to run. This video is more of a story of how my upgrade went rather than an actual how-to. Though, if you do learn something new from this video, I consider that a win-win. A little bit of a disclaimer, since this involves opening up your PS5, do so at your own risk. Beware of static discharge that can build up, and make sure you touch a piece of metal on the PS5 to dissipate that before you begin. To do the upgrade, Sony specifically states minimum specs on their site, so you cannot just put in any old NVMe SSD into your PS5. I'll provide a link to Sony's site in the description below. I decided to go with the 2TB SN850 drive from Western Digital. At the time of purchase, they didn't have the option to have a built-in heatsink, which is recommended by Sony. It looks like Western Digital eventually offered that option, though putting one together yourself like I did is cheaper. I got mine during a Black Friday sale in 2021 for $319, but that price is still around even though it's now early January 2022. Full disclosure, if you want to help me and this channel out, please use the affiliate link in the description below to order your drive. It won't cost you anything extra, but I'll get a little bit of a commission from Amazon. To prep, first update your PS5 if needed and turn it off. Don't put it into rest mode. We're going to be assembling the heatsink with the drive first. With the one I got, the instruction manual indicates that you stick the metal pieces together with the heat conductive adhesive. I peeled off the protector of one side of the tape, attached the adhesive to the SSD, and then I did the same thing to the back. Each part of the heatsink does have a notch on one side, so take note of that. You'll need to line this up when you put them together. Next, I attached the bottom plate after peeling off the protective film from the adhesive. I also attached the top, which nicely slides into the bottom plate, lining up the screw holes. I put in the 6 screws, which lined up very nicely, and that secures the heatsink to the SSD. One mistake I did here was that I didn't give the connectors enough room from the heatsink, so it didn't connect to the PS5 properly. I ended up having to take this apart and shift the connectors forward, so make sure you don't put the heatsink too far forward. Now we're going to install the new SSD into the PS5. Unplug your PS5, and to open the case, you have to slide it in a slight angle. I had some trouble here since I didn't want to break the cover off, but you may need to bump it with the palm of your hand a few times. As you can see here, this is what holds the cover to the rest of the chassis. It's a little bit weird. We'll have to open this silver panel next. Be sure not to drop the screw when you take it out. Measure the length of the drive. In my case, this lines up with the 80mm slot. Remove the screw here, which is not to be confused with the first screw since they're different. Be careful because there's a spacer underneath that will also need to come out as well. Put the spacer into the correct spot, plug in your drive in an angle, and once you feel that slight nudge indicating that the drive has been plugged in successfully, gently push it down and screw it into the spacer. Slide the cover back on and secure it with the original screw that you took out. Slide the exterior cover back on, you'll hear the snap, and then connect up your PS5. When you turn on your PS5 again, you'll be prompted to format the drive or to shut down the PS5. Those are your only two options. Formatting is pretty quick, and once it's done, you'll see it available for use. Let's test out some game loading times. For Gran Turismo Sport, which was originally a PS4 game, the original console storage took 14 seconds to load into the race menu, as you can see here. After moving it to the new SSD, it also took 14 seconds to load. For Rainbow Six Siege, the PS5 native version, loading into the Training Grounds section had a tie as well, taking 9 seconds to load for each type of storage. In my opinion, the most difficult part of this is buying the drive. You first had to hunt down a PS5 back in 2021, or now, pay $500 for the console, and then you have to cough up another $319 for additional storage. If you're not really familiar with computer hardware, you might find that researching specs, opening up the PS5 case without breaking it, and aligning the heatsink might be a little bit of a challenge, but it's not too bad in my opinion. Everyone has to start somewhere, and this is not something I'd consider difficult for a beginner. Also, you don't have to worry about reinstalling the operating system, selecting a file system, setting up partitioning, or installing special drivers. So far, games are running pretty smoothly, and I didn't see any signs of heat or reliability issues. And that concludes today's video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in the next video.